Hey everybody, this is Pastor Rowe of Elim Restoration Ministries. Welcome to our small group. What an event. I know you're probably wondering, why is Pastor Rowe in the middle of the ocean? Well, it's interesting because in one of these island tours that I signed up for, that me and co-pastor signed up for in our trip here in the Philippines, they told me that I was going to a particular island called Snake Island. Now, it's quite interesting because it's called Snake Island not because there are snakes in the island. It's actually called Snake Island because there is a particular sandbar, which I'm making my way to right now, that is shaped like a snake that connects this island to the main island behind me. And so as you can see, the water's getting a little bit more shallow. This particular sandbar usually appears when it's low tide around 6 o'clock at night, and then it's pure white sand from here to there. Now, what I was thinking about doing is doing this small group on Acts chapter 28. When Paul was traveling to Rome and leaving Greece, they traveled around 16 days total. And in those 16 days, it was tumultuous travel. The ship got tossed to and fro. They had issues with the boat. They thought they were gonna sink. They were not able to steer the boat the right way. And then they ended up in an island called Malta, right? And then even getting there was just crazy. The soldiers wanted to kill the prisoners. It was bananas. But anyway, they get on the island, and as they're sitting on the island getting ready to have fire and to warm themselves, they ended up having to gather some sticks, and and then Paul accidentally grabbed you can't really say accidentally because it made it in the Bible, but grabbed sticks from where there was a viper that was extremely poisonous that latches itself into his hand. And so, because he was in a ship with prisoners, and he obviously is a prisoner, the people in the land and the people there immediately assumed that he was a murderer, that his sentence was truly death, right? But he shook off the viper right into the fire. Now, later on, what ended up happening was that they found out that the magistrate, Publius, I think was his name, father had sickness. And so Paul healed him. And then after Paul laid his hands on him and healed him, everyone that was sick in that island went to go see Paul to be healed. Now, sometimes the purpose of God, and I mean the purpose of God, puts forth such a delay and setback in our lives that we seem to think that we have a hard time focusing, I should say, on the purpose of God rather than focusing on the purpose of God. We set our sights on our current delay. And I think that we as people need to know that if we are in a season of delay, in a season of setback, that God is trying to be glorified in our life during that setback. So each and every one of us need to find a way to glorify Him when we are being advanced, when we're being accelerated, and most especially when we're being set back. Because God's purpose is greater than our purpose. His ways are higher than our ways. So today I want to just encourage you that if you feel that you're not where you want to be in life, if you feel like, what is going on? Why is this happening? I want you to find time today and encourage yourself and glorify God. I'm saying all of this. I'm saying all of this because I'm in this season of glorifying God, recognizing the purpose of God. Now, my wife, a year ago today, we were on our way to the hospital. Or I should say, we were on alert, waiting to be called to the hospital for a kidney transplant for my wife. And most of you know the stories that she ended up having a cardiac arrest 2 days after her kidney transplant, in where I could not see a year from that point, more so than I can see the next day. I'm just waiting. When you're in that situation, you're just waiting for news from the doctor every 20-30 minutes. I used to get up early in the morning and walk to and get there for rounds, just so that I could ask questions. But now, look, that's co-pastor right there. She is learning how to snorkel. Snorkel. Here, she's learning how to snorkel here in the Pacific Island, or I should say Pacific Ocean. And if you're in the moment of your season of your delay, when there was a season a year ago and my wife and I felt like a delay, felt like we were stranded in an island, felt like we were like one bad thing after the other was happening. But truly, my wife and I trusted, if this was happening, if this was happening to us, then God had a purpose in it. And so I glorified God in that purpose. And I even said, God, whatever you want me to do, whatever purpose you want me to have in this season, I'll glorify you. And sure enough, miraculously, co-pastor survived, and not just survived, flourished. That today she's here. She's all the way over there. I don't know if you can see her over there, but she's over there snorkeling and seeing starfish. She just told me a few minutes ago. Saw a starfish with 4 legs and 5 legs, and you know, couldn't see that a year ago. And so today I want to encourage you that if you're in a season of delay, in a season of setback, glorify Him, because God will be glorified. I remember that season a year ago where I don't know what was happening, but I would go to the hospital and all the doctors would, as soon as they found out that I was a pastor, they would ask me to go pray for patients that they have. I got to meet certain people, even did some counseling sessions for families. And I know that it would have been so much easier to just chill out, relax, and just focus on my wife. But God had a purpose. God had a purpose in my delay. God had a purpose in Charisma's delay. And all of it leads to God being glorified. Amen. All right, to God be the glory. God bless you. I love you. I miss you. And remember, Jesus is Lord. Till next time. God bless.